Hey everybody, let's talk about the Nikon Lite Touch AF. This is a really cool little camera, and the reason I picked it up is I saw some previous reviews done on this camera where people were just raving about the sharp image quality, and it's a kind of affordable camera when you're looking at other point and shoots on the market right now. This one tends to stay in the lower range, like if you were looking for, I don't know, like obviously like a Fuji Natura or a Contax TVS or something like that. This is going to be a good alternative if you're looking for really sharp photos and you're not wanting to spend that type of money. Now, this is probably going to be for someone who is wanting something that's a little more portable, a little bit smaller. It does fit pretty comfortably in the palm of your hand. It doesn't take up a lot of space in your pocket. It's very pocketable in terms of a camera that you can take with you. You may have a hard time finding one that's in super good condition because I looked forever, and I gotta tell you, this one still has scratches on it because of the material that the body is made out of. It's like a hard shell plastic, but it definitely does pick up on scratches. However, that kind of adds to the character of the camera, and as long as the internals are good, I don't see an issue with it. If you want something that looks pristine and you're going for that perfect image in terms of having the camera with you, good luck finding one that's in just super amazing condition. If you do, snatch it up, buy it. I think most of them have the issue up here at the top where the plastic up here gets scratched up. And that's not a super big issue or a super big problem because really the lens is where your photo is going to be coming from that's going to be taking in the light for your photo. So as long as the lens is good, this up here is just like your viewfinder and your flash. So I don't see a problem with that. You could have this part up here scratched to pieces and it's going to give you the same good photo as long as you've got your lens in good shape. So with that in mind, it does have a viewfinder. It's a very small viewfinder, but it's pretty accurate from what I've seen. There's a panorama mode on here on the back, and you can switch it over. Really all that does, as with most Nikon cameras of the time, I believe is just add these bars over top of your 35mm photos. So it's really just taking a 35mm photo and making it look like a panorama. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how that function works. I don't like panoramic photos from film cameras myself. I've never seen one that just blew me away. So I'm personally, with the point and shoot, not worried about that. It does have a 28mm Nikon lens, which is, I think, the biggest selling point of this camera because Nikon makes a pretty good lens. They've been known for cameras forever, and the fact that we've got a good lens on such a small camera is why this little tiny device holds its value. Here's the internals. Nothing too crazy. It's pretty much what you'd see on any other camera. Up here at the top, we have a few functions, a few settings where you can do self-timer, you can do outdoor type of landscape photos, and of course we've got our flash settings. I tried this out with a roll of Rollei RPX 400 ISO speed film. Never used that film before, and so this is kind of a review of this camera as well as that film. And I've got to tell you that I'm pretty impressed by how sharp these photos are. I'm not saying I took the best photos with it because quite honestly, when I get a new camera, I'm just trying to take as many photos as possible, get something interesting, and get this review out for you because I want to make sure you guys have as many options as possible when you're shopping for your perfect 35mm camera. So had never used that film before, hoped for the best, but I gotta tell you, in terms of the sharpness, which is what we're looking for with this camera, and the quality that came out of this, I think it's pretty good. I'm personally keeping this as part of my collection because I really love the photos that it gives me, and I love the size. It's really, really rare that you find a camera, a 35mm point and shoot camera that is this size and hasn't already blown up in popularity. Just as comparison, another really good camera, which is the Minolta Freedom Escort AF, is significantly bigger. And this is not a big camera. This is a standard size 35mm camera. This is what I would expect to find in the point and shoot market. But as you can see, when I place them on top of one another, the Minolta Freedom Escort is quite bigger than the Nikon Lite Touch. And you really feel it in the thickness of these cameras. It's a pretty slim camera. So I think if you're looking for your first 35mm point and shoot, or if you're just looking to upgrade your collection and get you a sharp point and shoot camera that's going to give you really good results and not cost a fortune, I'd look into the Nikon Lite Touch AF. Now, if you're also looking for somewhere to get your photos developed, definitely check out oldschoolphotolab.com. That's who I've been using for years. You can go back and check my older videos and you'll see that that's true. I've been using Old School Photo Lab since I started shooting film photography. I order processing and scans from them every time I send my film off. Crazy fast turnaround time. I've tried other services just to kind of test it out in the past, years and years ago, and I haven't used anyone else since then because they just blow everyone else out of the water. Just in comparison, I've used Lomography's film developing service, which I don't even know if they offer anymore, and I also used my local pharmacies. I think it was CVS or Walgreens. We're talking like a 1 week, 2 week turnaround, and then when you get your photos back, they're just terrible quality. I don't know what's going on at these labs. Lomography actually took about a month to get me my photos, so that was just insane. Love their cameras, not a fan of their film developing. But oldschoolphotolab.com, they're just awesome. They know what they do, they're experts at what they do. You've probably heard about them already because they are the best when it comes to developing your film, getting it back to you quickly, professionally, scanning it, getting those uploads to you. I mean, it's just such an easy, seamless process. Love them. Be sure to check out oldschoolphotolab.com if you haven't already and you need somewhere to get your film processed and scanned. I'm pretty sure they work with anyone around the world, but definitely check out the website to learn more. Without further ado, I'm going to show you some photos that I got from this camera so that you can get a good idea if this camera is right for you. Personally, I'm a huge fan. I love this. But if you want to see more film photography reviews, be sure to give this video a thumbs up so I know what you guys like and what you want to see more of. Subscribe if you haven't already and you love film cameras and film photography and all that cool stuff, because you're definitely welcome here. And I'll see you guys later.